All right, T-Rex82 here. Welcome back to another Empyrion Galactic Creator Studio update. It's been a little while since I've been able to do any uploads. I've had some system issues, all simply starting out with just trying to upgrade my graphics card. Long story short, everything's fixed. Everything's back to normal. The only problem here is that I have lost every build that I ever had. I ended up getting a corrupted hard drive, and I could not recover anything. And unlike a lot of other games on Steam, where you're able to kind of re-download those save files from the cloud, I don't believe that I'm actually able to with Empyrion. So all of the builds I was working on, the Cretian Bull, the J. Randall, Super Carrier CV that I was working on are now all gone, sadly. So I had to kind of jump back to square one, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I did want to redo bits and pieces of the Creation Bowl that just wasn't working out properly. So it actually kind of used that as a test bed to kind of come up with what I currently have going at the moment. But before I get into that, this here that you see in front of you is a 32,000 SU SV cargo box or cargo container that I have created. I am going to be dropping this on the workshop as a standalone, kind of like I did with my Taiki thrusters. I do want to see what you guys do with this in your builds. I would love to see you guys utilize it. The only thing that you'll have to keep in mind is that it does technically take up this lower block. So I have, on the build that I'm currently using, basically created mounts that run along that center path. And you'll have to do something similar to kind of get it to work right. But I think it looks pretty good. So as I said, 32,000 SU. That's where it currently sits. Each one does have its own, has its own container controller in it, as well as a wireless controller as well. So I think it looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with it. I tried to make it look like they're kind of on hinges, as if these doors would open and close. This got me thinking to something that I am used to seeing in Space Engineers, and I really wish this game would allow it. And I may have to reach out to the developers to kind of see if it's something that can be implemented. But the landing gear on all of our ships, they're automated. So you can only dock to one thing, but you can't take off and then lift whatever object you're docked to. I want to see if it's possible that they're able to set it to a toggle switch to automatically lock in position. You can do that in Space Engineers, and that was a lot of the way that I moved objects around in Space Engineers. I had to build a separate ship in order to lock on and then move containers and things like that. I really liked the way that was working. That would allow me to do things like have this container on the inside of this cage completely separate, and be able to take a ship, lock onto it, move that container, and place it anywhere I want to. Same thing goes for, like, if this had gear on it, landing gear or pads, then I can use those to lock those in place. So I could move that onto a CV, and lock those down so that they don't go anywhere. So I'm going to reach out and see what I can do, see if I can get any answers on that, because I think that would be a really, really amazing step in a whole new direction that would kind of open up a lot of these bounds that we have as designers. But yeah, so there it is. Again, this container is going to be dropped onto the workshop today. This is incorporated in my new build of the Cretian Bull, which I had to start from square one, which is behind me. So this is going to be along the Taiki line as well. And it's going to look with the same color scheme and same rugged material that I used on the Taiki that I had, the cargo vessel. So without further ado, here we go. And this is where we're currently setting. So it does have a lot of those same design aspects to it, with the rails and things like that. But, you know, I had to take a lot of different approaches to kind of get this to kind of resemble the way I wanted it to look. The biggest problem I have in the first iteration was I did not have a lot of room in order to dock any sort of HV underneath. So I think I have fixed that problem. I am going to be creating another HV for this that you can use. Idea being that it's going to be a mining HV, mining vessel, so that you can dock this. You can take this anywhere you want to, have it have good range and good capabilities to be able to lift all of the ore and take it back to wherever you need. So you can make multiple jumps and have enough room to really, really fill this sucker out. But I like the staggered look of it. Right now, it's got a lot of the classic shaping that you know from me as far as the thruster housings and things like that. But I really think it pops pretty well with these cargo containers on there. It just looks right. So right now we're sitting at, we got 4 of these containers, each 32,000. Plus, I'm trying to fit in an onboard cargo container system that is also 32,000 as well. We're getting there. I think I'm right around 28,000, but you know, it's a little rough. Trying to find and cram space into something that's not a lot of building. It's basically a frame, is all it comes out to be. And trying to incorporate that in, it's a little tough. But yeah, so we're using a lot of the same thruster housing, same styling that you'll see on the Taiki over here, and it will be painted up to look a lot like that. And I have a lot more detail work to do on this. I hope to have this actually out by next Sunday. That is my ultimate plan. But as you can see, I still have a lot of texturing that I have to do on this as well. So all the cargo pods are done. Those are set in stone. Those are ready to go. But as I said in here, the one thing I'm not happy with is this. Like I said, this is not a combat vessel. This is not meant to be. So I'm not too upset with this being exposed. It will be painted to match, so it doesn't really look that bad. But it does give a flat surface in order to mount whatever HV you have underneath here, or whatever you're going to use it for. Like I said, I will be using this specifically to use HVs to do mining and things like that. But again, a lot of texturing to do. I have a lot of detail work to do still, but this is just the rough outline. Interior, not complete. Trying to figure out what I want to do in here. It does have, like the first iteration, it has this cockpit here as well as the one above, which you can access from here as well. So you can fly this externally or internally, however you want to do it. I do have these in here as just kind of a placeholder. I think that might be where they live, but I gotta figure all that out still. So there will be a door on the back and all of that. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update of where I currently am, what's going on in my life. It's been tough with the baby. It's just been really hard to find the time that I need to do this kind of stuff, but I am getting closer to really blocking those kind of times out. I am finding that very, very early on the weekends, like 5 o'clock in the morning is perfect. That's when everybody's still asleep and I can kind of get in here and do as much as I possibly can. But so that's where it is for now. I'm going to leave this at this, but again, in the next couple hours, I will have the cargo container up there. I recommend you go take a look at it, give me some feedback on it. And if you start building with it, let me know, show me. If you got me on Steam, send me a request or post some pictures, and I would be glad to see them. I would love to see these incorporated along with the thrusters as well. And as always, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and until next time, keep your heads above the hard deck. I'll catch you later.